art and character designs provided by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Want to be first to have access to early artwork, concept sketches, exclusive art that can't be seen anywhere else? Then support Demon Artie over on her Patreon. Link in description below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
15 PCA?
454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord. Link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So, Nightmare on Elm Street, a staple of 80s slasher films.
Classic.
Just classic. I mean, those are some of my first memories of horror films, was those 80s films. Those, the Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees. Those were the guys that got me to love horror.
But yeah, the thing is I would say about Freddy Krueger, he's the king for me when it comes to horror.
Well, he had a personality.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Jason Voorhees, there's no personality. Michael Myers, there's no personality. He told jokes. He was a disgusting piece of garbage, but you kind of laughed and but it's so absurd. He's killing people, but you kind of like him.
I remember. I think it might have been John Carpenter said this in one documentary. He goes, "If you want to talk about them as two iconic characters from the '80s, it was Ronald Reagan and Freddie Krueger."
Yeah. And what I liked about him too, he could be, and since with his power, he could be any monster, anything you're afraid of. He could be the Wolfman. He could be Dracula.
And he enjoyed screwing with you.
Oh, yeah.
Because he could have just, turned into a giant monster and just eat you. No, he wanted to toy with you a little bit.
And another thing, too, if you look at it, Jason and even like Mike Myers has like a sadness to him. No, Freddy knows what he's doing. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's not a tragic soul.
No.
Yeah.
He's just an evil person. That's what
he
is.
Depending on the thing, he was a child predator.
Yeah. I know that's his backstory. I don't like getting into it because some of the movies, like the new one emphasizes.
I'd rather him just be a murderer.
Well, that's where it makes it weird. When you do, like, let's say, the remake and stuff, like, what storyline do you go with?
I go with the Robert Englund one. That's what I
thought. Yeah, exactly.
It was heavily implied. Because there was like the reboot or whatever. Here's the thing. The guy who played him is the guy who played, I forget his name, he played Rorschach.
Yeah, so he did a good job.
He does a good job, but he's a little too creepy. See, like we said, Robert Englund just has kind of this bombastic personality.
Larger than life.
Yeah, it kind of makes you kind of like him a little bit.
Yeah.
There's no liking the other guy at all because he just didn't, it was too...
Yeah, exactly. Robert Englund, it was too much. It was too dark. And Robert Englund also even said, to credit, like, he wanted to make Freddie larger than life. Like a big stage presence, and that's why he's so iconic.
Yeah, it makes it kind of off-putting, because it's like, he's trying to kill you, but yet he's almost making a game out of it.
Yeah, I want to make a show out of it. I'm going to kill you, but it's going to be entertaining.
It's going to be entertaining, yeah.
And we're talking about this because there's lots of talk about Robin Williams about doing a reboot, He's too old. He's even admitted that. He's like, I do a voice. That's Freddie's voice.
Oh,
because you can do a voice to the day you die.
He's kind of pushing animation too. I've read.
I would love to see a full blown horror animation. We haven't gotten one of those in a long time, where it's just pure animation.
Do you know what would be really cool? Could you imagine like an 80s mythology or like mythology of all the like Jason, Freddy, and
it's all animated.
All animated.
And then if no studio here wants to do one in anime style, I'd even go for that. From
because there's plenty of animes out there that like those psychological thrillers, those horror, something like a Perfect Blue, but just do a Nightmare on Elm Street, but like that.
Yeah.
And I think that because imagine the dream sequences with animation, how like insane you can get with the work. Because I love the stuff you do. Practical effects will always be awesome. Like, in the Nightmare on Elm Street, when she's on the roof of the room and she's being all pulled around. And they were just, basically they filmed it with the roof upside down.
That was such a dangerous scene, by the way, if you watch a documentary on that.
It's such a cool look, but with animation, you can do so much with it.
Another thing, too, though, when you just said that, imagine him doing an Nightmare on Elm Street if Shoshi Khan was still alive. Oh, my God, that guy could do psychological. That would have been a match made in heaven.
It would have been interesting. It would have been good.
Oh, I love that guy.
Because with the way I would love to see you show the kills and everything, because that's what Nightmare on Elm Street's about. But show it from the perspective of like a detective who's like investigating these murders. But you starts thinking maybe this supernatural thing is real. And then maybe it starts getting into his dream, starts coming after him, and he tells from a different perspective.
He wills it to be so because he's investigating it.
Exactly. And I think, I'm sorry, Variety is coming out. Wouldn't it be a nice little twist that he knows that he's there, but Freddy just doesn't kill him because he knows he can't do anything about it?
Yeah. Like, look what I'm doing and you can't stop me.
Almost like how I want to see Sam and Twitch movie with Spawn. That kind of thing. They're investigating it.
See, but my inspiration would be the detectives in Paranoid Agent.
Oh, yeah.
Because they slowly but surely, like, this can't be. It's a supernatural thing. This guy, the little.
That's this. The Koji-Kan would have been perfect, but he's not alive anymore. God rest
But then,
his soul.
slowly but surely, that detective would be like, there is a guy going into people's dreams and killing them. And he is a demon from whatever 1,000 years ago.
You can put paprika kind of just weird kind of stuff going on here.
You know what just came in my head? I thought it'd be so funny if like you did like some really funny environmental stuff with Jason, where you have like people trying to buy Camp Crystal Lake and build stuff, and then the people keep dying, and then they're like, "Oh, these are crazy, like tree hugger killing people."
I know they try to do like the Universal movie universe. Do it with these 80s slasher. Bad guys.
Don't do it with Frankenstein and Dracula. No one wants to see that.
I mean, I would love to see that, but most of the people don't.
We're talking, it's 2% of the population.
Me and the 3 other people in the theater, yay!
Yeah, I mean,
you, me, native, Walt Flanagan from Comic Man. I think that's about it.
That's about it, yeah.
No one else.
I would love this.
Oh, James Ralph.
James from Avian, yeah.
But I think it'd work better with these type of villains. And I think, because live action, I love it. But I just love the idea because in my mind, animation, you can just do so much, especially with a villain like Freddie, because it's dreams. And when it comes to, you can just do this insane stuff and the cool thing about animation is what he goes in your dream and all of a sudden, we're going to have a computer generated CGI sequence because your dreams can be anything.
Anything. It's so surreal. It could be anything you want.
The thing I always thought is the most scary about Nightmare on Elm Street movies is the fact that you don't know if you're awake yet. You think you might be, but are you really awake? I hate that.
I think one of the coolest things that ever happened in Nightmare on Elm Street was when she was going to like, I have to get out of the diner. She gets in the car, she drives away. She's back in the diner. I gotta get out of here. She gets back in the car. She keeps looping, but she doesn't realize it's looping because in your dreams.
Because Freddie wants to keep her busy because he's trying to kill someone else. Yeah. He was multitasking.
But then she starts to figure out, it's like, what the? Oh my God, he's got me in a loop. But you don't notice things like that in a dream. Yeah, that's so good.
I love that moment they realize because he says, because she goes, I'm driving, and then he goes, no, you're driving because they've done it so many times.
Yeah.
And he like remembered that.
Yeah, when she's with Dan at the her boyfriend. Yeah.
So I was like, I like that. Like,
I mean, there's so many just iconic like moments. The movie theater. When everything starts getting sucked in the screen. Just stuff like that. I love it. It's live action. It's great. But
that's from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Please watch that. That is
4 is my favorite.
It is probably my favorite too. It's amazing.
I think another good dream sequence, which was very subtle, is when she thinks she dreams of a nice dream and he comes into there, and even though he sees so out of place,
like he's like this, like what the hell's that doing there?
Yeah, exactly, because it's like on the beach or whatever, and he has like the glasses.
That was Christy. Yeah. She'd imagine a nice place, and then Freddie goes there with his glasses.
Sunglasses.
Could you imagine that? Like how funny would that be if someone dreamed of like like a fantasy land of like niceness and all this stuff, and he's just kind of like in the background.
See, but he can pervert everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another thing about he enjoys that. Mm-hmm. He wants to take what you think is good and kind and beautiful and make it disgusting and like him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then Robin can do that's main pull for animation is then he can do the voice.
He can do the voice until he dies. That's what I like about it. He can just be Freddie.
And I just like the fact that like there's so many little tidbits about how Freddie is, and he's like, with the claw, he'd be a little bit lower because it reminds me of like the old cowboys. They'd have their arm a little lower because that's where their gun is.
He's very spaghetti
So
Western.
you see that silhouette of the hat and his arms a little lower. It's just that's that look, and it's so iconic.
I just remember seeing like the first trailer, and he has that laugh, that iconic laugh. The
claw.
I love it. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. And his weapon, his claw. He can kill you with it, but he'd rather slice you up a little bit. Because he doesn't want to kill you right away. He wants to make you suffer. Exactly. And you love him for it. He's just like, even this picture right here, he just has that Robert Englund laugh and the look. So I want to see it. So if they do a reboot and it's animated, should it be a reboot? Or should they, the way I see it, if they want to move forward, make it to where he died. He's in hell. He's the new evil spirit. And then another killer calls upon whatever the evil spirits, and then he grants the power as a kind of a passing of the claw.
Well, the thing is that's interesting. The thing is though, those spirits were willing to give Freddie a lot of control. Will he be able to give that up?
See, that then you can have that little conflict there.
Yeah, I think he's not going to want to give that up because that's not in his nature.
But that's interesting. It's
it's fascinating. I like it
because
those 3 demon spirits first went into him. That's what
So now, but now he's like a singular spirit of those guys. Mm-hmm. Then he's willing to give up his power to another killer, so he can. But I would love to see that where he has to sit on the sidelines. He's not going to want to do that.
No, he's never.
See, but that can be another conflict.
Remember when it was Freddy versus Jason? He got mad. Jason was killing everyone. He goes, "I'm supposed to do that."
They can kill him before he get to him. Like, you bastard!
Yeah, that's my kill.
So there's so many different ways you can take it. if it's a full reboot, I'd want it to be animated with Robert Englund's voice.
Oh, that's
if it's brand new, I want a passing of the claw, a passing of the power, because I don't want anyone to be Freddy Krueger. It's another person.
Yeah,
Robert Englund's the only Freddy Krueger in my heart. You know, I can't. Even the other film was.
But with the problem is, this anime, there might be just tempted. Let's just make it Freddy. That's the thing.
Let's say, but then he can be the voice. Because he can't physically do it anymore.
No,
he's even admitted as much. He's like, I'm an old man now.
The makeup is probably so much to sit there and actually...
Well, like, he even said when he did the little cameo in Goldberg's, that was like an hour, 2 hours, and I was like, I'm done. I can't.
He was using the makeup for, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And the thing was stupid. It was really funny. But, I'd love to see these guys get back to, the Michael Myers. Because with Halloween, there's a new versions of those coming out, and the new one was so good.
Yes.
I'm afraid they're going to muck it up.
One more. I'll go see the next one, and then after that, I'm like, guys, you got to kind of stop for a while.
You don't need 8, 9, 10 of them like they did before.
No, we don't.
But just thinking of Freddie, I love to see him put on the makeup again, but I do realize he is an old man. He probably doesn't want to do it anymore. So let's do animated. It could be so awesome.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be great.
Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.